Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Options Trading for Income Weekly Update for May 22nd, 2015. Before we get going, we would like to remind you that the presentation is for educational purposes only. We're not broker-dealers or financial advisors, and we're not making any specific trade recommendations. Also, please be aware that the risk of trading options can be substantial, so please be aware of all your risk prior to placing any trades, and that we are using hypothetical computer simulated trades in the presentation that are believed to be represented as accurately as possible. However, live results may vary. Moving on, if you're watching this on YouTube or some other venue, come over to our website, check out our programs. We have the super simple spread trades, the M3, the Bearish Butterfly, the Rock. The M21, we have our one-on-one coaching programs, and we'll soon have the APM squared program available. Also, make sure you become part of our inner circle by joining our mailing list and get your free report, The 7 Secrets to Becoming a Successful Trader, and also sign up for this free weekly webinar. So here is a picture of the APM Square group. I had an awesome time. I think this is gosh, one of the best presentations that I've had. I mean, on my end, it was a great group of people, very advanced traders, and boy, we had a fun 2 days. So it was really great. And thank you for attending. Thank you for the awesome time. And already got lots of great messages from you guys. Keep them coming, and let me know what we did great and what we can do even better. So stay tuned for our programs currently under development. We have our the APM Squared Online should be coming out in June. I'm getting that edited as fast as I can. It's going to be a lot of work because we had a lot of time in there, obviously. And then we have the Trading Triangle book, which we'll be working on for the fall, followed by the program. We may stick some other things in there in between if I can, but these are the major milestones that we have coming on. And of course, we have directional spread trades. And like I said, if you have something that's going to help you with your trading, something you'd like to see, then come on, just send me a message, let me know, and if it's something that we can work in, then we will. And of course, here is my contact information in case you'd like to do that. So let's take a look at what's going on in the marketplace here. And last week we had this sort of breakout of the SPX. From a price point standout, we had a breakout. We very clearly, we do not have really any volume associated with this. It wasn't really followed by much. I mean, a little bit by the Dow, but gosh, I can't put too much faith into this at this point. So from a technical standpoint, we are still bullish on the SPX. Especially if this level holds with any kind of a pullback that we have, then very likely we're going to continue higher. So with a failure, I don't know if failure would be all that drastic. The volume's so low, and it hasn't really followed through anyone. So I think we're just kind of drifting upward, as they say, more than anything else. And it's probably going to take some sort of news to break us one way or the other. But at this point, I have to call it mildly bullish, although I'm not very confident in that. So if we take a look at the Russell here, all we did is we came back up. If we look at our shorter term charts here, we came back up to this level here, which is exactly where we should. We backed off of this a little bit. I'd say if we break higher, we're going to 1280, and we'll have to see what the other indices look like when we get there to get an idea if it's going to break higher or not. But a break to new highs, especially a close over new highs, is a strong indication we're going to 1280. Other than that, if we settle back, we're probably looking back at this 1205 to 1210 area. So again, just kind of drifting here. You can see the mild sort of kind of partial breakout on the Dow, which again, this is not decisive by any means. We set new highs, but no volume, just kind of creeping around up here. So again, they got the drift higher, and of course they got the NASDAQ, which is probably going to try and at least touch the highs over here, at least intraday. So again, indications will probably go a little bit higher, but we're also drifting here. So we will have to see where this goes. At this point, slightly leaning on the bullish side. Other than that, we're just kind of drifting. So with the positions, we had a bearish butterfly on. Let me go into backtrader. Do I look at the Dow transports? Yeah, we look at the Dow transports. They can lead the market sometimes. I haven't looked at them lately with this. Like I said, I've been fairly busy with some other stuff, so I haven't been getting too much into technical analysis as far as trying to determine where things are going. I just kind of believe that we are drifting. So as of yesterday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, with this bearish butterfly for June, this is performing very, very well. If we drift back at all, let's see if we can get some data up here. Well, that's not nice. Option views not being nice to us here. There we go. Well, we'll go back to Wednesday. Let me try Thursday again, see if we can get that data up. Well, it looks like we'll be looking at Wednesday. So as of Wednesday, this is what we looked like here. As of this morning, we're up about, I think, about 6,000 because we backed off a little bit. If the market tends to pull back in here and we get up into the $10,000 range with 1/3 of a position on, I will be very interested in... I'm sorry, I just got a question here. It says, why does option view keep screwing up? That is like, what is the meaning of life? We really don't know the answer to that. You'd have to talk to the option view gods. But yes, we have had a lot of challenges, particularly in the morning. I know they're having data feed problems, and they are working on their servers. So they've been choosing to do some server work in the mornings and other times, and also their data feed's been very slow. So we've been getting some really wacky, crazy Greeks during the day. It makes it a little tough to make our decisions. We kind of have to a little bit look at our best estimates for now. Hopefully that data speed thing shows up. What's happening is, one option will update in your position, and then it'll be 5 minutes for the, well, not 5 minutes, I'm exaggerating, but it'll be a while before the next option feed will come in. In other words, it's like very slow data. So if the market moves, one of the options is updated, something else isn't updated, you tend to get these profit and loss swings, and you get these delta shifts. So usually if I pop back into backtrader, I can get something that's reasonably reflective of what's going on. So, I mean, just be aware of that. That's something we're dealing with now. Hopefully that goes away. But those are the people who you have to talk to, because, yes, I agree with you. There's something going on here, unfortunately. But we're just doing the best we can with the information we have. Anyway, with this position, if we back off, get up $10,000, we'll be dropping out of this thing and moving on. So that's that. The June M3 actually got moved around a little bit. Obviously, I was at the seminar on Monday and Tuesday, so the type of adjustments we did were a little bit different than normal on the M3, just because I wanted to do something simple. We were limited on time, so let me just go back and come forward. So this was our position on the June M3 prior to any adjustments. We were positive Vega. Delta was not bad, and Theta is very, very low. So we were in a position like this. I did not have time to do an actual roll-up. So what we did instead is we just simply bought some 1190, 1210, 1240, 1250 condor just to stabilize our Vega a little bit. So if we come into here, I moved this, this was the whole butterfly. I moved my 10 of my 1190s to 1210. I moved my 10 1240s to 1250. Gives us, excuse me, just kind of neutralizes the Vega a little bit. Picks the Theta up, helps me make my T plus 0 line a little more stable. So very minimal there. Tuesday I did not do anything, and Wednesday I came in and just kind of fixed the position by selling 5, 1140, 1190, 1140, 1160, 1190, 1220 condors, and I sold 5, 1140, 1160, 1190, 1230 condors, and then I bought a 1250, 1260 vertical, or 10 of those. So you'll see that shift if we come to Wednesday. Right, so I did the 5 condors to roll up my 1140s to 1160 and bring my short strikes down, up from 1190 to 1220 and 1230, and I rolled these longs up to 1260. Gives us a minus 38 delta, which is nice, and a nice solidly positive theta, nice solidly negative vega. And I didn't move the position till Friday. So that was, I didn't move the position yesterday. So that is the position as of right now. And let's see, what else do we have on? We had a June V Condor on, which did not get any adjustments. Let's just take a quick look at our June V Condor. If you remember right, we had a significant down move. I ended up pulling off 2 of these 1140 puts to deal with our positive delta. Now we've kind of bounced and we're sitting. This is not the best scenario for V Condor. We don't like to sit right in the middle here. I haven't hit any delta guidelines for adjustments, and it's okay in this particular position to run negative theta for a while. So we're just kind of sitting here waiting for the market to move. If the market generally takes off in either direction, we should actually do fairly good this month. If not, it's probably going to be a relatively flat month, and just call it a very small gain or close to a break even for that type of thing. So no adjustments for that. One thing I neglected to do in last week's update, which was just a video update, I forgot to tell you that I entered positions. So we'll take a look at that. We had a June rock entry on last Wednesday. So let me just go to a June rock trade here. So this entry was kind of, I'm sorry, that's, did I do that? Well, let me look at that on my T-log here. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that yesterday. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. So I entered this yesterday because it was 35 days to expiration. So let's just go to yesterday's entry. I was thinking of my other trades. I had some trades we entered 56 days to expiration last week. So here I had just barely, really, I could have called this an M3 entry. I could have called it a rock entry. It was just on the cusp of doing either one. But I went ahead and did a rock entry because we're already playing with an M3 here for June, and the market's relatively flat, so we just come in here and did our 10 of 1240 butterflies, and I was only able to sneak in 4 1280s. So this is what the position looks like here. I also did not 1, 2, 3, 4. I did a 40-point wing here, which was an accident. 2, 3, 4. That tells you how busy I am. So what I'm going to do here is I'll correct this position today. I'll come in here and I'm going to sell my wings a little bit wider and get into a normal rock position. It's only been 1 day in this position, and I just noticed that. So I will make a correction on that today, intraday. But anyway, this was the entry that we put in here, which is an acceptable entry anyway. Although I probably would have only been able to do 3 butterflies had I done 4 wider ones. But we will, like I said, shift into that position today. And last week, I actually ended up entering our July positions. We had a July Bearish Butterfly, we had a July M3, we had a July V Condor. Again, I was fairly occupied getting stuff together for the seminar on Monday, therefore I did not realize 56 days expiration was a little bit different this week. But I entered on Friday anyway, which happened to be 50, let's see, I entered on this Friday. So here is our Bearish Butterfly entry for July. We just put on 12, 20 put butterflies. Here is our M3 entry for July. I ended up putting on 1220 butterflies because the volatility was a little higher, or the market skews were a little flatter than normal. And I ended up buying one 1100 call. And our entry for the V Condor looked like this, where I did shorts at 1330 with our 30-point wings, and we did shorts at 1130 with our 30-point wings. We entered a straddle here at 1230 on both sides. So that was our V Condor entry. If we move to Wednesday, then this position looks like this as of right now. Of course, we had a bit of an up move, so pretty much flat profit and loss. We have our July M3, which looks like this, is pretty much break even as well. And we have our July Bearish Butterfly, which is drawn down a little bit because we had a decent up move on Monday. So we're down about $1,200, and our position looks like this. No adjustments on any of those. So those are our entries, again, which I forgot to mention last Friday, or actually I hadn't entered them yet because of the it was early in the day when we did the trade update. So those that's where we stand. So as far as questions, we have not been in this situation before. I would like to ask, what would I recommend? I am in a June Bearish Butterfly with a 50% of target profit. If the market moves up and I get to an adjustment point, I'll most likely go to break even or lower. Is there some other approach you suggest other than to manage the other side, upside, or would you just protect profits by exiting to lock in some profits at some point? Shorts are at 1250, but I'm in the same situation. Okay. So essentially what I typically do here, let me go June Bearish Butterfly for a second. Right, so this has been a very interesting market where we have not very much market movement. Generally what I'll do here with my live positions is as I have a M3 conversion rules and a Bearish Butterfly, where I like to start hedging off the upside and putting this into an M3. So in this particular situation here, depending on your size, you may be able to start throwing calls at it, but usually if you put a call at it, it flattens you out too much, especially if you're at 1250. So what I tend to do is limit for a 10 lot or a $50,000 position, I would limit your upside delta to about minus 150 and cut it back to around 100. So you can do that with, obviously if you get up to 250, if you get up to 200 delta, you can do that with a call. Here I could do that with a call also because, I am all the way up to 182 delta. So probably earlier in this, as the market was coming up a little bit earlier, I'd have been in here just adding a call to this. And then as we start to crank forward, start putting your verticals in. By the time I hit the edge of my tent, I want to be under minus 75, and if I go outside, I'm minus 50. So it's just a manner of gradually transitioning it into a M3 trade. If I am in a position you're in, I probably don't want to do that just yet because I'm not sure what delta you're running, but you can start just rolling these out, right? Keeping your delta in the 100 range. So if you start touching around 150, bring it down a little bit, kind of go into something like this. You run a little bit forward more, run it down a little bit with a vertical. If you get to the point where you can get the call in there, you can sell these back off again and then put the call on. Right, so in other words, you might do, with your verticals, you might get all the way over to here. And then notice if you backed out of the position, you'd be at minus 120. If you backed out of the position, you'd be at like minus 180 or minus 150, and then just add the call in, back out of some of these verticals, and then you just drop yourself into an M3. So that's what I tend to do with that. Let's see, another question. June M3. Did I move the position too much to the upside when I went to 1220? If I go to 1220, June M3, I'd be okay at 1220 at this point. I mean, depending on when you moved it, it may have been a little bit aggressive, but at this point here, I wouldn't mind being at 1220. I think being at 1220 is fine. So I think you are there. So that looks good enough. All right, so I guess that's all we have for questions this morning. I know we have a small group because it's an odd Friday session. I hope everybody has a really awesome Memorial Day. And like I said, we had an awesome 8 p.m. seminar, so hopefully if you're interested in getting that program when it comes out, just go to my website. I have a sign-up page so that you get information on it specifically. I'm sure we're going to have some sort of a launch on it or a special anyway as it comes. I'm not sure how we're going to promote that yet, but we will be moving forward with that. So have an awesome weekend, everybody, and we will see you next week.